Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Rayul Nurfilhaq as a moderator for this presentation today. Now, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker, that is Tasya Fadila, who will present about Tempe. So, Tasya, are you ready?
Inshallah.
All right, Tasya, time is yours.
Everyone can see my screen.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
So in this meeting, I will explain about what is tempeh. So based on the definition, tempeh is a traditional Indonesian food that has long been known by the community a long time ago. So the tempeh is already made in a long time ago in Indonesia, especially in Indonesia. And tempeh is basically made by tempeh yeast that combine with soybeans and also the water. So three main ingredients in the tempeh is the tempeh yeast, soybean, and also the water. And for the yeast itself, it is have the types of the Rhizopus oligosporus and also Rhizopus oryzae. It's mean that there is a fungi or a mushroom. We can call it mushroom. So what is that? It's the white one. If you see the tempeh, it has the white side inside the tempeh. So it's the Rhizopus oligosporus itself. So if the white part or the mushroom it's getting old, the color it will be darker. It is because the mushroom is covered by the sporangium, so the color it will be darker. If you want to see the tempeh, fresh tempeh, you can see the color the tempeh. So the more darker tempeh is, it's not fresh anymore. And for the soybean itself, if you want to make a good tempeh, you have to pick a good soybean also. So for the ideal soybean that you want to use for making a tempeh is it has have the stem long is 30 up to 100 centimeters for the stem itself, and the plant is look like edamame. And for the, maybe if you confused, you can choose the soybean type is named as Glycine soya or Glycine usurensis. And for the water, you have to use the clean water to become the fermented process become stable. And next, the process, how to make the tempeh. You can see from the picture. First is the soybean. Soybeans have to be a cleaning or wash it first to make sure that it's really clean from the dirt. You have to wash it, and after you wash it, you can soak it overnight. After you soak it overnight, you can see the outside layer of the soybean, like the picture. It's peel. You can peel it off, and then you can wash it again. Wash it again with the fresh water, not the previous water. And after you clean a second time, you can steam the soybeans up to 1 hours, and you can chill it in something that make it the soybean more dry. After dry the soybean, steam soybean, you can mix it with the yeast. So the soybean is mixed with the yeast, and you can put cover it with something that make the shape of the tempeh is stable, like beam or the cube one. But usually the tempeh is the shape is beam. And after that, you can fermentate it overnight in room temperature. And after overnight you fermentate it, you open the cover and then change the cover into the banana leaf. It will make the tempeh more aromatic and more authentic. And you can put it on the shelf, in the shelf itself, put it in the room temperature also. You can put it within one night. And after that, you can enjoy the tempeh. And for the type, actually I choose the type that product that made from fermented soybean. First is Japanese natto. So what is Japanese natto? Japanese natto is, it seems like a tempeh. It made from soybean fermentation, but it has a different shape and texture with the tempeh. So natto, it's like basically more sticky, slimy, and have a bad smell for the natto. But usually Japanese people enjoy it with the rice, soy sauce, and also the tartar. And second is doenjang. Doenjang is from Korea. It's a Korean soy paste. So it's have a main ingredient same with the tempeh, but it's have a long period of the fermentation process. Doenjang have 6 months for the fermentation, and actually it the same like gochujang. If you already similar it with the gochujang one, so it put it also in like something called a barrel, with the barrel, and put it within a 6 month. And next is ganjang. Ganjang and doenjang, it's quite a same product. So if doenjang is fermented, the soy paste is fermented, it will become producing a liquid one. So the liquid one is, its name is ganjang. Next is douchi. Douchi is the fermented black soybean. It's from the Chinese ingredient for the Chinese comfort food. So douchi itself, it's made of the salted black soybean that fermented it. Next is tauco. Tauco is a cooking ingredient that popular in Southeast Asian country, especially in Indonesia and Malaysia. It seems like tempeh. Tauco is made from fermented yellow soybean, and it's for food flavor. Next is oncom. Oncom is the most similar food, same with the tempeh, but it makes with other different type of the mushroom or the fungi. So the oncom is not made by Rhizopus oligosporus or Rhizopus oryzae, but oncom is made of Neurospora cytopila. So next is the composition. Is the composition or the chemical composition inside the tempeh. Basically, tempeh it's a lot of, or the soybean is a lot of carbohydrate compound. So when it's fermented, the carbohydrate, it will become the alcohol or ethanol, and then the carbon dioxide, and also the ATP or the energy. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tasya, for the great explanation. Now we come to the question and answer section. There will be 2 sections. First section is for 3 questions, and the second section is for 2 questions. So the 3 audience who want to ask in first question, please raise hand. Okay, Nabila, please.
Hello, is my voice clear?
Yes, Nabila.
Okay, so hello Tasya, thank you for the great explanations. Actually, I want to ask, since you said that tempe is made of soybean combined with yeast, my question is, can I make tempe but using another beans? For example, like red beans or any kind of beans. Thank you.
Okay, Nabila. Tasya, do you want to keep the question first or just answer directly?
Maybe keep it first.
Okay. Next is Valensa. Please.
Can you hear my voice?
Yes.
So, thank you, Tasha, for your great presentation. I want to ask, is it other product of fermented soybean that you mentioned before, producing same microorganism or fungi with tempe? Can you got my question?
Yes, Valin. Thank you.
Thank you, Tasha.
Okay, one more question, please. Okay, Bill, please.
Okay, thank you, Phil Hawk, for letting me ask. And Miss Tasha, thank you so much for your presentation. I do really amazed by the PPT because it is so complete. And however, I have something to ask. It is due to the many process of the making of tempe. Is there any often like failures that has happened during the process or after the process? And uh, if so, and if you know, you may also tell us about those failures. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bill, for the question. Tasha, have you already got the answer?
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Okay. I want to answer the three of question. Is it okay, moderator?
Okay, go ahead, Tasha.
Okay. First question is from Bia. Like the question is, can tempe made from other type of beans, like for example other beans beside the soybean, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so tempe is actually can be have other innovation, which is made with like black soybean or with the kacang koro, kacang tolo, with mung bean also, and the edamame. So I will share. So the tempe, it will be looks like this. It's just same with tempe that made with the soybean. It has a white mushroom because it has the same yeast but have different type, but it still can made it with that. But maybe people already familiar with the soybean one. Is it answering your question? Okay, thank you, Bia. And next is Valin's for Valin's question. Like the question is using the same microorganism, right, Valin?
Yes, Tasya.
What is the role or what? Sorry.
It producing same microorganism or same fungi with tempe.
Okay. Okay, sorry. So for the answer is it has a different because the product of the fermented itself is different. So I will mention it. First is I will share my screen. First is Japanese natto. It's made from Bacillus subtilis. For natto, for the microorganism or for the yeast itself. So it has a different type with tempe. The natto with the bacillus or it's a bacteria, and the tempe it's made from the fungi or the mushroom. And next is for donjang and ganjang. It's actually because the fermented process is a long time, like a 6 month. There is many microorganism inside that, like Bacillus, Enterococcus, Lactobacillus, Clostridium, and etc. So it has many microorganisms inside that. For the douche is using Aspergillus and Enterococcus itself, and for the oncom using Neurospora cytophila. The tauco is same like a douche. And just oncom and tempe using the mushroom, and others using a bacteria. Is it
Alright,
clear?
so everything is different, right?
Yes.
Alright, thank you, Tasya.
You're welcome. Thank you again. And for the last question is from Bill. It's like the question is, what is the failure factor in making tempe, isn't it?
Yes.
So the often failure for making tempeh, basically it's like the water is not clean. It's sepele, but people have to be people have need more a lot of attention of the water, because water can make the failure of the processing making tempeh. So water is have to clean, make sure the water is clean. And also the yeast is not much enough. It's not, so the yeast is lack, if the perbandingannya is not the same with the soybean, so that's why it's not fermented well. And after that, other factors is the process is not sterile and not so clean, because fermentation process really sensitive. So the whole process, it must be clean and sterile. Is it enough, the answer?
Okay, that's enough. But anyway, I've ever heard before that the dirtier the process of making the temper making, the tastier it gets. Is that true?
Based on that journal and also the video that I found from a traditional biotechnology process in Tempe, because like fermented process has to be it's sensitive. So same with the Tempe also, it's more clean. So based on information that I got, it must be clean.
Okay then. Thank you, Tasya.
Yes, you're welcome.
Okay, now we open the second session. The two audience who want to ask, please raise your hand. Okay, Fania, please.
Thank you so much, Philhap, for letting me ask question. I want to ask, at the beginning of the process of making tempe, why does the soybean need to be soaked overnight? That's it, I think. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Nisha, please.
Okay. First, I want to thank to Sasa because she explained the mind map is very well. But Sasa, I'm curious about you say that tempe it is made by soybean combined with the yeast. The yeast is also microorganism, right? And what is the role of a microorganism to make a tempe? Thank you, Sa.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Nisha, for the question. So, Sasa, you want to keep again? Keep the
Yes.
question.
Just a moment.
Okay.
All right, can I answer? First question is from Fania, and the question is why at the beginning of the process making tempe, why soybean must be soaked overnight, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so the reason is it's for the hydration. So like the soybean have to absorb much water as possible. So it's like when we want to plant the mung bean, it has to be soaked also. It's like for the awakening the cells inside the bean, like for dormant. Same with the soybeans also. Do you get it?
Oh, yes, I get it. Thank you so much, Sasa.
You're welcome. And for the second question is, what is the function of the fungi, the Rhizopus 1 in Tempe, isn't it, Nisha?
Yes, Sasa.
Okay, so the function
The role
is, oh yeah, the role itself is the white mushroom in the tempeh. It's the treats that make the soybean tight each other, so that's why the tempeh become more solid. Itu terikatnya with the rhizopus itself. And also for our body, the fungus make the enzyme called protease can break down the complex protein, so make your digestion process in your body become more smooth. Pencernaan lancar gitu. Is it clear?
Yes, Sasa. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you again.
Okay, Alhamdulillah, the question and answer section is already taken. So finally, we come to the end part of the presentation. Before we end the session, let me conclude the presentation of Tempe. So Tempe is so familiar with us because Tempe is traditional Indonesian food. And for the process, we need 3 ingredients. First is soybean, tempeh yeast, and also water. And then for the type, it is have 2. First is Rhizopus oligosporus and Rhizopus oryzae. And then the type, we have the type of tempeh in some country. For the Japanese is Japanese natto, and from the Korea is doenjang and gancang, and then dochi, tempe, tauco, oncom. Okay, that's all for presentation today. I would like to say thanks again for the presenter for answering this question and for the great presentation, and also the audience for being active participation and raising the question. Hopefully in this presentation will be beneficial for us in the future. Thank you for the attention. I'm sorry for any mistaken. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you.